Welcome to the episode 3 of the Shon Osimbo Sports Show. This is the place where we talk to the legends, we talk to the big names in the football world. We had Peter Drury on here, we had Emil Heskey, and you already know even the other interviews that I've carried all along this 2020. So it's amazing today to have Gilberto Silva, World Cup winner, Arsenal legend, the Invincible wall. I can't even name all these things. Welcome to the show, Gilberto. I'm so humbled to host you, and I know millions of Arsenal fans are watching, and I know they're excited to be here to watch you. Welcome to the show, Gilberto.
Hi, Sean. It's
Hi,
a
how
real
are
pleasure.
you?
It's a real
Yes.
pleasure to be with you in the show. It's a great. I was anxious to talk to people in Kenya, in your platform, all your followers, and really excited, to talk about us, and general stuff in football. It's a real pleasure. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. Now, let's just get right into it, Gilberto. What have you been up to since you hung your books?
Well, I'm working even more than I was in football. But it's been exciting. It's like after I stopped playing football in 2016, I became sports director of Panathinaikos in Greece, and for 6 months I stayed there and left the club after 6 months and started to work, with footballers, with athletes, and one of them, is Fred. When we
Yes.
start to working together back in
Mhm.
2017, and he was in Ukraine, and work with him has been a very interesting journey. Different from what I was maybe planned to do when I was playing. After I never thought that I was going to be work as an agent, something like that.
Mhm.
But instead, work in a football club. But when I had the opportunity in Greece, and after a short period, I've changed. I still work with them. I have my sports company, but beside that, I have my other business. Such the moment I'm one of my business, a business hotel in my hometown,
Mhm.
and still doing some punditry. Sometime, it's still involved in football. This is the great thing.
Yes, and how was this transition like for you? I've seen also here some of the footballers here, they struggle a bit, moving from the pitch life now going to venture into this other career. So, how was that transition like for you from the active pitch life to this other career? And you've mentioned so many, yes, it seems like true, not it seems like you are literally busy than when you
Yeah.
were on the pitch, yes.
At the beginning, it was quite hard. It's a bit weird when you just stop play football. I've spoke before with many ex-players how hard it was for them to make the transition. But
Hmm.
while I was playing, I always thought about the time I was going to stop playing football. Because before football, I had to work hard to make my living, to help
Hmm.
family. I used to work in a switch factory. I used to work in a construction company and other jobs before football. And
Hmm.
honestly, for me, it was not so difficult to change my mind. The hardest thing for me was when I stopped playing football. I was injured by the time. My last year, back in
Hmm.
2013, at Atlético Mineiro, I got a knee injury. It took me time to recover, and I left the club in the end of the year of 2013, and I had a surgery in August of 2013, and then the next year, 2014, I had to do the surgery again, to correct something, and then I had no other option instead of stop playing. It was very painful for me because I want to play another year. I want to play 2014 because was taking so much time, to recovery. I could not be fit enough, and then I decided to switch my mind. What's the point to play? I was already 37, start to enjoy family, pay more attention to my business. And then I switch off my mind about play football, concentrate in the other things. But one aspect for me that was really important when I stopped play, not before I stopped play because I was doing the rehabilitation in my knee. It's because I turned my mind into education. I start to do some other course, mental course, mental to prepare myself on a different way for the next stage of my life. I think this was very helpful for me to not get desperate, first of all. Uh, Analyze, patiently what I have done, what I have achieved, what I could make in the future for myself uh, to avoid big mistakes. I think this is very important. I think the education for me was the key to make this transition. Not easy, but a little bit better.
Yes, amazing. And now let's just quickly get into the Premier League before we talk about, I know what most Kenyans are waiting for. They're waiting for that Arsenal part, but let's quickly talk about the Premier League. A couple of games in, do you think Liverpool will retain this title from, I know we're seeing the injuries with VVD, Fabinho, and everyone is getting scared, but do you think, are they likely to retain the English Premier League title?
Won't be easy for them, I guess, because Liverpool now is the club to be hunted by the others.
Yes.
And last year they had an amazing journey, amazing competition. The quality they've played, their games was unbelievable, and they did a great job. In, for the whole season. This season, there are a few challenges for them, and for the other teams, is Liverpool is a team to be beaten, and I'm sure it's going to be hard. Of course, they have a possibility to retain the title, but this is not going to be a simple task because everyone, will focus to beat them. Now they are, I think, the second in the league.
Yeah.
They recover a few, the position, and then close to Everton, which is the first. Maybe nobody would think nowadays, that the top five teams would see maybe Everton, Aston Villa in the position they are. But this is it's good. I think this is good for football. But for
Yes.
sure, if they want to retain the title, they must be ready for even hard challenges.
Yes, and I don't want to talk about Arsenal, how they're currently doing, but for everyone who's watching, if you have a question to drop for the legend, that is Gilberto Silva, please feel free to leave the question in the comments. I'll be reading the questions later, and yes, he's ready to answer any question. So please don't forget to leave those comments and questions there. We'll be talking to you. We'll be picking up your conversation slowly later on in the show. So, yes, let's now talk about Arsenal this season. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, I guess that this season for us won't be easy, as it haven't been in the last few seasons. Even though when Arsene was there, and as you have seen the last years, Arsenal compared to the other clubs didn't invest so much money in terms of sign big names, big players, and this, when they see Liverpool, City, United, it's a different budget. Even Chelsea, they spend a lot less compared to them, and rely on the players they got. But after us, and they have already two managers after us, and now with Arteta. I one one is very simple for him to bring Arsenal back to the position the fans expect them to be, to fight for title, to be back in the Champions League. And it is a very hard work that everyone need to believe and need to support Arteta and the players for them to achieve this position that all Arsenal fans want them to be.
Yes, and speaking of Arteta, I know he's under so much pressure to deliver more trophies to Arsenal, but there's that big trophy that, all English Premier League fans want, and that is the English Premier League. So what do you think of his leadership? Have you seen any major transformations since he took over at Arsenal?
I see that the team is a lot better, more composed from the past few years. And but it will take time. He brought now Partey. I guess Partey will be a very important player for Arsenal. He's a player that Arsenal need for quite a long time. I have spoke about it, this position, for in the last few years. And they brought the Brazilian center back Gabriel Magalhães. He started very well. He's doing a good job. And of course, with the other players, he's trying to find, I guess, the best team, his best 11, and work with the players he got. But immediately he won the FA Cup final, the FA Cup for the club, and which is very important for his beginning at a massive club like Arsenal. But for him to deliver, a major trophy like Premier League, Champions League, it will take time. But it's important everyone understand that and don't get panic, because otherwise he lose a game, and people start saying, "Oh, he's not good enough. He does not get the enough experience to drive the team for trophies."
Yes, amazing. And I know Arsenal fans don't want to hear that it will take time. Kenyan Arsenal fans want to hear that they can win the Premier League this season. But as you said, it has to take time also the team to gel together. And we saw that with Liverpool, even with Klopp, it had to take time for him to put his squad together. So who's currently your best player in the Premier League?
Now, you mean?
Yes, now.
There are some good players. I like Mane. Mane is doing a good job. Who else? Wow. Sometimes the name is Mane is doing a good job. Fred is doing a good job for United. And what's the other strike from Liverpool? Oh my God,
we have Mo Salah.
Salah. Sorry, Salah.
Yes.
And there are some good players. You can see Maddison from Leicester.
Yes.
Yeah, Maddison's doing a good job, and there are some, if you have a look carefully in some other clubs, we can find good players, and this is what make the Premier League so interesting and so difficult when those teams meet each other.
Yes, and also we have comments coming in. Jeremy Tender saying the best defensive midfielder. Dave Major, Mark Ongiri saying living legend. Oshiwaida says Sean asked him where he sees Arsenal finishing in the league. You say that will take time. But then we have now Gilberto. This is the thing with Kenya. I know when I visited the UK, I was shocked because the rivalry is between Manchester United and Liverpool, the biggest rivalry, I think. But in Kenya, it is Arsenal versus Manchester United. That is the biggest rivalry. Till we have a song in Swahili that say Kati ya Man U na Arsenal. I think I'm getting this right. Gani Kali, meaning between Arsenal and Manchester United, which is the bigger, best team. So there's that rivalry is so huge. So I don't know, but I suspect this is a Manchester United fan. Boniface, somebody says they'll finish position 14. So that is Arsenal will finish position 14. Stop asking answers, ask questions. But that is just from a rivalry point of view. But I think they want you to answer that. Where do you think Arsenal will finish when it comes to this season wrapping up?
Oh, if we look back, and the position right now where, Arsenal is playing Europa League. Last year was the same. And last year, when they played the final, they had missed an opportunity to be back in the Champions League for this year. And take this in consideration. I would expect to have Arsenal at top 4. I don't see right now that Arsenal got a possibility to be the champion of this year. Maybe things change. I would love to say different things. But I
Yes.
cannot lie to myself first from what I think, for what I believe, according to the situation right now. I have to be fair also with the fans. Don't create a lot of expectation, and for them just to not create a big expectation and then end up frustrated. But as we know, football changes every time. This is
Yes.
the magician of this beautiful game. And things can change as long they keep progressing, they keep winning their games, their chance, grow up. But it's important for them to do their jobs, to win their games. And the winning their games will be very important. But my expectation, what I would love to see is, for now, we say right now, 29th of October, Arsenal finished the top four. But I
Yeah.
expect maybe next year to talk again, hopefully. And
Yes.
we say that, we celebrate Arsenal fight for title. Why not?
And I know Arsenal have missed playing football on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now they have to play on Thursday. That is the Europa League, and tonight they face Dundalk. I think that's the name. What do you think? How do you think they'll fare on in this match, in this Europa League group stage match?
I think this is a great opportunity to us, to do well in this new competition. Europa League. Maybe for some people, when they compare Europa League and Champions League, it's not the same glamour, maybe the same stature, but you have to take in consideration. Last year, for example, Arsenal, I think 2 years ago, I think, yeah, 2 years ago, Arsenal had an opportunity to be play, to win this competition, and then they lost the final to Chelsea,
Yes.
and miss an opportunity to play the Champions League again. You have to take this in consideration, because in case they don't finish a top four this year in the Premier League, winning the Europa League, there is a big opportunity to play Champions League next season. And every situation has to be evaluated and put in place, and to work hard for it. I think the game is it's not that simple, because maybe they are in different leagues, different level. People think it's simple, but it's important for them to win, work in the qualification for the next stage of the competition.
Amazing. And now, before we relive some of your greatest moments for the Gunners, quickly, who's your best player when it comes to who's your best player at Arsenal at the moment?
At the moment, Saka is doing very well. I'm really enjoy seeing him play. He's such a young player, talented, and doing a great job. Czerny, this week in my podcast, he was the player of the week.
Nice.
Like Saka in the week before. And Gabriel Magalhães, I think he's going to do well. Martinelli is another young player. He's injured now, recovering. I believe that he's going to bring a lot more to Arsenal. And I think these younger players is like the future of the club. It's important. They grow up. But there are some other players that we can take. And I believe now with Partey, they got a strong guy in the middle. And hope, with Aubameyang, like I said, those guys, they can make a good impact during the season.
Yes, amazing. And now also I have to definitely ask about Mesut Ozil's situation, which is currently, I think, even overtaking the headlines when it comes to Arsenal. Like, his name is all over the place and the situation that's happening. What are your thoughts on Ozil and the club, and what is happening between the two?
Well, I'm really sorry to see him in this position. It's very sad, because he's as a great player. He played for great clubs. He played for Real Madrid. He played for Germany. He's a World Cup winner, and see him on the bench in the situation is quite tough. And I think it was last year, last season, I made a comment about how to use him. Made a little bit of comparison when Dennis Bergkamp was playing at Arsenal, be like a second striker, because
Mm-hmm.
he was the guy who provided, very good pass to Thierry Henry up front, and the couple was amazing. And Ozil has this capacity of giving the final ball, very almost perfect in many occasions, But it's about how to put him on the field. The point now for me is how is the situation between him and the club? How is this relationship, especially? Seems like there is the relationship is broken. This is when things are broken. It's very hard to get it right again, especially if it's about trust. From what I read a few comments the other day in the media regarding Ozil, I say that you know it's so tough. I hope they find a way
Mm-hmm.
where the relationship can be established, and as long he stay in the club, he gets what he deserves in terms of the reciprocity of the club and from everyone.
Yes, amazing. And then let's now quickly move to some of your greatest moments on the pitch. And before we just deep into that, kindly tell us how you came to love the game, how you involved the game, and your journey towards signing that contract for Arsenal.
Uh, I like most of the Brazilian players. I start playing football on the street, in school with my friends, cousins, as usual in Brazil. And not nowadays, not anymore on the streets because thing has changed in the world. But on that time, I was like this, and then I joined the football academy at América Mineiro here in Brazil when I was 16. Then I stayed only 5 months and came back home to work in a switch factory to help my family. For 2.5 years, I worked in this factory here in my hometown, helping my family until the moment I said to myself, it was time to try again, for the last opportunity, last shot. I said to myself, and therefore I prepare by myself, with my ideas, what I need to prepare in order to be ready when I
Mm-hmm.
get there among the other players. And this, I came back. I was 19 years old, the last opportunity, and thanks God, things work out, and I managed to work for America for a few years until I moved to Atlético Mineiro, being selected from Scolari for
Mm-hmm.
2002 World Cup, and then end up at Arsenal after this amazing competition with Brazil national team. This is
And
how things, it's at some point things change in my life in the early
mhm.
days, but I guess this was for a good reason.
Yes, and did you think beyond your wildest dreams that you would sign for Arsenal?
Well, growing up here in Brazil, my small village, you never think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up watching the big clubs in Brazil playing big names such as Toninho Cerezo, Zico, Reinaldo, other good names. Then watch Italian football, and as a kid, I had a dream. I dreamt to maybe one day, in my far, far away dreams, or maybe one day I play in Italy. I never played
Mm-hmm.
in Italy. I played against Italian clubs. Then I would never expect to be playing a professional team because of the place I grew up, very small village. My father used to work in a sugarcane factory,
Mm-hmm.
and this opportunity to join a football club, a professional football club, was so far away from my reality. And but when the opportunity came, I didn't want to lose it anymore. And this
Mm-hmm.
was about me, how I take this opportunity, how I grab it, how I work hard to not let the opportunity pass. Because when I was there, I knew the hardest competition, the biggest one was against me
Yes.
and me. Because I had to work hard because I knew there was some other players in front of me in terms of quality, technical ability, their strengths. But I said to myself, don't, doesn't matter. Nobody will take my opportunity from me right now. I'm now inside the club. I got my opportunity back. Now it's about how much I want, how hungry I am to take this opportunity and not let it pass. This, but for sure was far away from my reality. When I
Yes.
was there, it's about not only feel happy, but it's about work hard to make sure you deserve to be there.
Yes, amazing. And I know when people talk about Arsenal, they talk about Gilberto Silva, they will always think about that 2003-2004 season. That is the Invincible season. First of all, do you believe that happened? I know last year, Arsenal fans were like, nope, 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 nope. Actually, this year, they were like, nope, there's no way Liverpool are going to do this. And, it happened, and they were so happy when Liverpool lost a match, and they were so happy. So I know you're very key to helping Arsenal achieve that amazing Invincible season. First of all, tell us about that team. Tell us about how you played. Tell us what Arsene Wenger used to say to you guys before you went onto the pitch. I know that is what Arsenal fans have been waiting to hear. Yes.
That was amazing, as you said. Well, it was an amazing journey we have made, and something you just do with the people around you, if the not only the abilities but the personalities we've got at that time. The players we had in the squad, they were amazing, all of them. And the manager with Alsen, he was like a master, controlling everything, control every situation, controlling the egos to avoid everyone to explode at some point, get nervous because some players, sometimes they get upset. It's normal when they don't play, and you have to be upset because you want to be there on the pitch. But apart being upset, you have to work hard and contribute and give your contribution to the environment, to the club, because when you are there on the field, you have to show up. Because if you just complain and don't show up when you are there, and people, hey, what now? But I think the journey was amazing, and I think one important aspect for us to achieve that was when Arsene, at the beginning of that season, said to the press that we had a chance to go unbeaten. And we were a little bit, oh, what's going on? Why he said that?
Yes.
He put more pressure on us. Why he wants from us. And we could not believe that, that he said that. But we just play because we want to win the games. We didn't think about it going all the season, all the way through unbeaten. But we thought about enjoy our moments, win our games. We beat the opponents because the previous season was so frustrating after being in front, in the first position for such a long time. The end of almost in the end of the competition, the last I think 8 to 10 games, we miss our opportunity, start losing points, and we end up losing the league. This was so tough for us, and there was a kind of way to compensate this frustration. But we didn't think about going unbeaten. But when we won the league, 4 games in hand at White Hart Lane, this was a very interesting point when Arsene came to us and told that we could make history, uh, go all the way through without losing a game. Because at some point when you achieve things, you don't really think, you don't really realize how far you can still go. But having him speaking to us regarding this situation was so important. And then we said, oh, come on, let's keep moving. Was quite tough. The last 4 games was quite hard. We
Mm-hmm.
nearly lost the last game, but finally we got the result, a good result, and finished the league unbeaten. This is
Yes.
unbelievable. It's a great, Sometimes when I stop and think about it, then you realize how great was it.
Yes. And also, you are the fourth Invincible I have interviewed. I have interviewed Terry Henry. I have interviewed Saul Campbell, Lauren Etamemea, and all of them speak about this father figure, how Arsene Wenger was a father figure. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, he was. He managed things in the dressing room, in the club, in a very, interested way, very simple way. But he knew exactly what he wants. He knew exactly the
Mm-hmm.
players he got in hand, how much he could push everyone, and how much freedom he could give to everyone as well. And he knew exactly, when to push somebody. And this kind of father figure was important to understand, to have the right feeling, to say
Mm-hmm.
to the players the right words when they need. And sometimes they just pretend you don't say anything, don't do anything, just let the players react to some
Mm-hmm.
situation. But he knew exactly what he was doing. And sometimes did some things on purpose to see the reaction of the
Mm-hmm.
players.
Yeah.
And yeah, he knew exactly, but his ability to manage people was something amazing. I think this was one of the biggest difference in the job he did with us. Managing everyone, especially everyone's ego, was great.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And now, yes, I can see your comments coming in. Felix Makacha saying, awesome. I'm seeing other people are inviting other people to come watch it. Boniface Samani say every player has a history behind him. Wonderful, Gilberto Silva. Walter Machuka, you say one of the invincibles. He made Rude Van Nistelrooy and lights look like headless. He made the midfield bond so well. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now there's this moment. I know you guys got to win that invincible season at Old Trafford.
Mhm.
What did that mean to you? And the rivalry between also the two teams.
It was very tough because we could have lost that game. We
Mm-hmm.
knew going there always have been very hard, because of the rivalry, because of the quality of United players,
Mm-hmm.
and every game was a fantastic story because during the week before the game, everyone starts to talk about this game. Everyone starts to live this game, to breathe this game.
Mm-hmm.
This that's why for me, when we got to the field, it was like a war, kind of war on the field, big battle. But everyone wants to win their games and
Mm-hmm.
do everything we could on the field, running, tackling, use the technical ability to get the result because we knew the importance of it, for ourselves, for our fans, and for the club especially. And
Yes.
therefore, we could see sometimes some arguments, like on
Yes.
that day, with Nistelrooy and
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Vieira being sent off.
Yes.
But we managed the situation. He missed the penalty when it happened, and
Mm-hmm.
there was Patrick Vieira was sent off. Is there's a lot of doubts from us, from what he did, and seems like the referee was too much maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
we could keep the result, and
Yes.
this was, let's say, important for. I think it's another ingredient in this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful journey.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your first goal for Arsenal?
Yeah, still do.
How, how was that moment when you netted your first goal for Arsenal?
Was unbelievable for me. I didn't know I was too fast like that, but
Yeah.
it was amazing, because when I knew about the records at that
Mm-hmm.
time, I was quite impressed because something that happened to me in football was it's not it's not very simple. It's not like it's not very common for a player in my position. And I have hello,
Sorry.
hello,
Uh-huh.
and I had this record. I would expect maybe Thierry, other players such as Bloomberg or the strikers, but not myself. Then I was there and I scored this goal, and we had a fantastic game on that day in Holland, and a great result. And celebrating this record was wow, something very special, especially for a player in my position.
Yes, amazing. Sorry, we had a technical hitch there because of the internet. But yes, let me quickly bring in before we talk about the 2000 the Champions League. I know most people are asking about that and what happened with that final against Barcelona. Let's quickly bring in a fan called Ben Mwangi. Ed, my producer, if you can hear me, kindly if you can bring in Ben Mwangi. Yeah, so Ben Mwangi, kindly just you're welcome to the show, and I know you're a very huge fan of Arsenal and also a huge fan of Gilberto Silva. So feel free to ask your question to the legend.
Okay, thank you, Shon. Hi, Gilberto.
Hi Ben. How are you? Right?
Yeah, I'm just curious, being one of the best defensive midfielders that has ever played, whom would you consider playing currently to be some of the best defensive midfielders globally?
I guess maybe this year a little bit less, but Fernandinho, I still like Fernandinho. He's doing a great job. Fabinho, and I guess Fred's going to be another one in the Premier League. No, three Brazilians, and but of course now Arsenal brought Partey. I guess that Partey is gonna give a good impact for Arsenal. For me, he's a player they really need for such a long time. Play in this position to give the balance to the team, at the back, up front, to support the guys up front, but to give stability at the back. And I'm really confident that he's going to deliver great work.
Okay, thanks, Shon. Thank you, Gilberto.
Thank you. Bye bye, Ben. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. So yes, thank you. Let's now go to another question that, oh my goodness, Arsenal fans are still reeling from because of this. This is the cup. This is the big cup in Europe. That is the UEFA Champions League 2006 Champions League final against Barcelona. You are part of the team. What is your biggest regret from that evening?
Well, I don't know the biggest regret you mean. I think we have done everything we could on that day, because we most of the game we had 10 men, and play against a great team like Barcelona is very hard. Imagine with 11 against 11, it's difficult. Imagine down to 10 men playing a final. But I guess that we have to be proud for what we have done, what we have achieved. Despite the fact, we were so close, but at some point so far away of achieving this major trophy. And of course, it's very sad. It's very sad. It's very tough for us to absorb the impact of a defeat, and because we had an opportunity for that. After 1-0, Cherry got a very good chance in front of Valdez, and he missed the chance. Valdez saved, and later on, they scored the first and the second. It's this football, we have to accept that in the end of the day. But one thing we need to have in mind is to be proud for what we have done on that day against a massive club like Barcelona, down to 10.
Yes, and this brings me up. I'm currently reading. I don't know if have you read the book of your former manager, that is Arsene Wenger, My Life in Red and White, my autobiography. Have you read that book?
Not yet, not yet. I'm looking forward to it.
But in the first opening chapters, he says he still has nightmares from some of the matches that you guys participated in, and sometimes he asks himself if he would have done some stuff differently, if he would have, a bit of regrets here and there. And that brings me to my question. Even when you're done with football and you have moved on, do you sometimes get thoughts or nightmares of, oh, I wish I would have played this way, I wish I would have done this on the pitch? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, so sometimes I think about it. If you could have done something better, especially when you lose a game. For example, this is one game. I think if how could you how could we lost this game? Could we have won? How could we have what could we have done in order to win against Barcelona the final? This is one game. Another game I feel like this is Brazil against France in 2006 in Germany when we lost to France 1-0. And some games because it's very tough to you to absorb the defeat. This kind of situation follows you, I think, for the rest of your life. The only thing you can do is control your emotions because you cannot come back in time to change the results and change things, unfortunately. But learn in the process, learn with what you have done, and make like your own opinion about your performance, about your job on that day. I think, therefore, you grow up as a person, as a professional, because it's very hard. It's very hard thinking about all this situation of losing an important game. It's very tough.
Yes. And now let's, speaking of Brazil, definitely you're Brazilian and you featured in the best Brazilian team. That is what the reports and everyone says. That is the team that won the 2002 World Cup. Let's first see that picture. Thank you, my producer, Ed Bars, all the way from the UK. Wow. Can you name some of the faces in this picture? Okay, let me just direct. Of course, I know I don't want to say it, but it's good for you to relive the memories with some of your former teammates. So let's go. I'll just put the arrow there. So, yes, just name them. It's okay as you talk about the memories with this team.
To name them, let's start with Cafu, the captain.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. Marcos, Rocky Jr., myself, Edmilson, Lucio. This is the guys who works for the others to flourish. the guys up, carries the piano, and little bit more with Roberto Carlos at the back. But then we have Rivaldo, Juninho, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho. It's amazing.
Yes. Amazing team. How did you get to be part of this team, Gilberto?
Well, for me, it was a massive responsibility because be part of this picture. Wow, this is incredible, and sometimes I don't stop to think about it. But seeing this picture again, I say, wow. Have I ever played with these guys? They are celebrities. They are monsters of football.
Yes.
They were my idols before I joined the team, before I come to the national team, and watching them, supporting them from wherever I was, and having this opportunity was a gift from God, I guess. This is what I think. And for me, was about to do things simple, to make my job correct, right, and give them the support they need. Because imagine getting the ball and try to go forward. No way. You have Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo up front. What should I do there? Don't make any mess up front, And but for me, the important aspect of my game, playing with these guys, is understand exactly what I have to do in order to give them the support. The protected back four. Sometime back five, because we played with three at the back, three center backs, and plus Cafu and Roberto Carlos. and I was in front of them most of the time. And also
Mhm.
feed those guys up front. When all the time when I get the ball to feed them, I didn't care to run so much to get the ball
Yeah.
back when they lose it,
Mhm.
because I knew if I get it back and pass to them, maybe three out of two times they try, they would create a possibility of goal or score a goal. And I
Yeah.
was very happy running around, being the somebody to carry the piano. I didn't care about it. But I knew to carry the piano with those guys, you need to know how to carry the piano. Otherwise, you play the wrong notes.
Yes, and I know my own dad is such a huge fan. So I know this interview is making him so happy. You know, an Arsenal fan and also a Brazil fan, and he was there crying when you guys lifted the title in 2002. So tell us about that moment. First of all, what was the motivation and success behind the 2002? You know, how you guys progressed through the group stage and all that, and to winning and lifting that title. When you actually lifted that title in 2002, the World Cup, the biggest football cup in the world, that is why it's called the World Cup. What was going on through your mind? What happened? Like, what? How are you feeling in that moment?
It was a fantastic feeling. Going there to South Korea and Japan, when I left Brazil, was very interesting because we were not in the list of the favorites to win the competition, and
Mm-hmm.
this, I guess, was very important because we
Mm-hmm.
could work quietly, and not many people on us, talk about it, and we work very hard to be in the good performance. And when the competition starts, was amazing how Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, some other players talk about the frustration of not have won in '98 in France when they lost the final. And all the time they say, let's win. I don't want to cry again. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to cry again. This for me, what sticked in the back of my mind all the time. Let's make this happen. Let's do everything as possible to
Mm-hmm.
make sure we win it. But I knew the game was going to be hard, as it was. But I was with the team we've got, about the organization we had, the strategies on the field. We knew that at any time in the game we could score goals with the
Yeah.
guys we've got. And one important aspect, apart from the good players we've got, the whole squad, the guys who didn't play much or didn't play, but Scolari also was like we spoke about Wenger, very similar as a father figure to
Mm-hmm.
everyone. He managed everyone, he mastered many top players, all top
Mm-hmm.
players in this squad. And at some point, if you don't have somebody to control the ego, you can lose the control. But everyone was really focused on what we have to do to win the competition.
Amazing. And we'll come back to your questions, but let's just now finish with definitely Gilberto. Let's talk about the current projects you are involved in. Tell us about that. And I know I really want to hear about the podcast. That is exciting. He has a podcast, everyone. Please go check it out, The Invincible Wall, which was and is still your nickname. So yes, tell us more about what you're currently involved in.
Yeah, the podcast I started last year when I moved to London last year. And the idea was moving to London was to stay with the family for 2 years, project for the kids to finish school before they go to university, finish the college. And but then we came, with the pandemic in March, end of March.
Mhm.
But the podcast still goes on, and new ideas. I hope very soon I can bring some more guests to the show, and it's great. Basically we talk about Arsenal, general things in football, but mainly about Arsenal. And it's been interesting. But I want to bring some other topics to discuss. bring some other, other person, different kind of personalities to the show, talk about mental health, other things as well. I guess can be interesting for the athletes. And I keep working my sports company, working the players, mentoring them, and hope that I can help them become successful in their career with my mentoring and give them the right advice, in order for them to, let's say, have maybe less mistakes and
Yes.
improve, in their perception about football. Because nowadays you have a lot of distraction. It's about, you have to, as a football player, you have to manage a lot of things. But because you do it, sometimes automatically, you don't really pay attention. And this is one of things I really love to do. I really love when I do it with the players, mentoring them.
Yes, and you played a very key role when Manchester United's Fred was moving all the way to Manchester. Please tell us more about that.
Well, when we start working together was back in 2017, when I after I left Panathinaikos as a sports director. Fred was playing at Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine, and his main target was he wants to move from after 5 years in Ukraine. He wants to move to a new league. He wants to have a new challenge. And I didn't have any experience working this job as an agent. I didn't know how to work like this. I said to him, "Don't worry, I never work on this, but I will get you a new club. I will
Yes.
work. I will work. How do we set up a let's say, long-term project? What took us 1.5 year basically to conclude his move from Ukraine to Premier League. And the Premier League was the first target, his the first priority. And then we managed to bring him to the Premier League, and was great. Was great, and he's very happy at Manchester. And sometimes people ask me, why not Arsenal? That I'm Arsenal have different plans,
Yes.
so I can work. But he's very happy there at Manchester. He's playing very well. He's doing well in the league, and he's a guy. He used to work. He's very humble, hard worker, and wants to do well in the Premier League, and also wants to go back to the national team. This is why we work all the time, and we make analysis of things together. And I provoke him about how he's doing, what he did, and what can he improve. And he listened, and then we work on this direction. It's great. It's been amazing.
Yes, amazing, amazing job. So yes, before you tell us what next for Gilberto Silva and your advice to upcoming footballers, both on and off the pitch, we'll quickly take some comments and questions, and then we can wrap up. So first of all, there's this team of Kenyan legends. I have to talk to them because they welcomed me in their fold, and they've been like my big brothers, and they are also amazing with what they do. We have Lukachi Kadoch, we have Felix Makacha, we have Agrippa, we have Prof Mwenyewe, and then they are doing an amazing job here in Kenya, and I know they are right now even in the comment section, so I will take their questions. The good thing with the legends and with the good thing with you players, former players, you can tell us how you can advise other upcoming players how they can invest and stuff. So first, before we go to the part they're asking about what you'd like to do in Kenya, let's talk about great interview. How was it playing with Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho for Brazil, and playing alongside Thierry, Roberto Pires, and Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal? Oh my goodness, those are big names, Gilberto.
It was amazing. Play among those legends was something unbelievable for me.
Yeah.
I would never expect that in my life growing up in my village. But having this opportunity, is just about, do what we have to do things right, do things simple, to give those guys, the what I don't know the support for them. Because my position, you have to understand what's your main priority. My main
Yes.
priority was not score goals, was not play a beautiful game. It was about to get the ball back and give to them. Understand that this for me was pretty easy for me to just do my job, improve what I have to improve, and to make my job very simple and to make their life much easier.
Yes. And we have Felix Makacha asking, would you expand Gilberto Silva Fitness Center in a place like Kenya?
Let's see. Let's see. Why not? It
We'll talk.
depends. It depends.
Yes.
We can talk
Yes.
about it. Maybe we can work together with somebody, some investor. Why
Mhm.
not?
Amazing. We have Ochiwaida asking, ask him if he can be a scout for Arsenal based in Brazil, should that opportunity come.
I hope to help the club. Even though if I'm not like the regular scouts, but working them, because I always think about Arsenal. How can I help the club? And from here in Brazil, with
Mhm.
my connections, I can work in order to help the club. It's just about to understand exactly. I understand what they look for in terms of right now. It's about quality, about good
Yes.
players,
Mhm.
and the priority, to work with them. I think I always think first instead of going somewhere else first. The players with quality, the priority, is bring to us. If not work, and then we try some other place. But hope in the meantime I can bring, play like, for example, I brought to Manchester United like Fred, who's doing very
Mhm.
well. I can bring to Arsenal, to find some good talents for them. Hope so.
Amazing. Are you planning to visit Kenya anytime soon? That is also a question.
This is a very interesting question because
Yeah.
the other day, I think last year, before we
Mhm.
go to London, me and my family were talking about some place you never been before to visit, some holidays. One
Mhm.
place came on my mind was Kenya, and
Yes.
because I never been in Africa for holidays with family, and
Mhm.
Kenya was the first place that came out of my mind. Hope I have this opportunity soon, and yeah. For
Amazing.
sure. A friend of mine went to Kenya and
Mhm.
talked to me about the fun, beautiful experience he got with his family. He said to me, "I want to come back. You must go. This is a place you must go." And I'm really looking forward to it.
Amazing. You when you come here, you do the safari. The safari, you get to visit, the national. We have a national park here in the capital, so
Okay.
it is amazing. You'll see everything. So
Fantastic.
yes. So yeah. Now let's just go to now the other question. What next for Gilberto Silva moving forward?
Uh, honestly, since this COVID came through and create a great impact in the world. What I'm thinking right now, I'm not making plan for long term. I'm just living my life in the best way I can and trying to be happy in the most of the time. Try to help people close to me, family, friends, people that I can manage to help, and being supportive to the best way I can be in person, can be in social media, and because the moment is very uncertain for many people. I've seen many people desperate, people with good diploma, dentists, lawyers, and they don't know what to do in this moment. They are lost. And what I have done in the past months, I have done a lot of hard work in my business, preparing for the next step. I don't know when it's going to come, but I have to be positive and be faithful that things going to be better. But I'm not honestly. I'm not making long-term plans. Just work together with my family, and with the mentality that being together and help people. Because if you can manage that to overcome this hard time where the world is facing, and being strong, you can face everything that comes after it. And this is what I'm working here, my mental strengths and my family mental strengths as well.
Awesome. Awesome. And I want to ask the last question, but this just came to my mind because someone had requested me to ask earlier, but I forgot about VAR. You know how VAR has changed the game. And back in the day, there was no VAR. What are your thoughts on VAR, especially with the shambolic decisions we are currently seeing in the Premier League?
Yeah, it's been. I think it's been quite hard still hard for many of us to adapt to this new technology. But I believe it's going to be hard to live without VAR. I'm not against VAR, honestly, because some games, uh, the history have been decided for many big mistakes, and now with VAR, they are taking the opportunity um, to make less mistake. But still, sometimes too much takes so long for them to make the decision. One thing I don't really like is when the referees on the field leave the job for the guys in the cabin to do. This is a kind of thing I don't really like, honestly, because it becomes too artificial. But for sure, VAR changed complete the way of football, change a lot of things. The way we celebrate. We celebrate nowadays. You don't know if the VAR will have an impact on it, and kills a little bit the passion when we score a goal. This is my concern. I think that there are some things that has to be improved, and sometimes it's they have to what they need to work is about. Sometimes you have like one finger in front of the defender, and then you score a goal. you know I think it's sometimes too much. That's something that
Yes.
can be improved, and for the better of the game. If they can manage that, I'm sure VAR will last for a long time. I don't know if it's going to be forever, but for a long, long time.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere. Teams dread when when you're at home and you're watching your favorite team and you start seeing the lines, uh, like yesterday, but he was offside. Morata actually having a hat trick of offside. So yes, it has. I agree with you. It has its own positives and its negatives. Okay, there's. I know we are here because of the Kenyan fans. So before your message to the upcoming footballers, please just say something to the amazing Kenyan Arsenal fans who have supported Arsenal, who have supported you, and who keep on hoping they will win the Premier League again one day.
Oh, I want to, say thank to them to watch this show. I'm really happy to talk to the Kenyan fans, to the Kenyan Arsenal fans. It's fantastic. I hope to visit Kenya soon. And I keep positive about the team. Don't get distracted about what some people are talking in the media, talk on the press, whatever. And we have to be faithful and support the manager, support the players. I think this is the best way for us, Arsenal fans, to enjoy football, keep our faith in the team. Understand that it's not going to be easy, but we have to be resilient and faithful in what we believe because we love Arsenal. We have to support them.
Amazing. We have just quickly the comments are still coming in. Agrippa Nyanja, great interview. Sean Ochiweda said, we'll provide free security to you when you come here. That's what they're saying. Dorina Seka, who happens to be my small sister, but she supports Chelsea. It's only our dad who supports Arsenal, says, great interview. Felix says, thank you, Sean, for bringing such amazing figures around us. And then we have also Agrippa asking, Brazilian players who play in China like Oscar and Ramirez, do they stand a chance playing for Brazil? Do they stand a chance of playing for Brazil?
I think being there, they have less chance to be back in the national team. They had that chances already. Oscar Ramirez and Oscar is still there. Ramirez came to Brazil, I think, last season. I don't know if he's back in China, but I think being in China now for them, especially when we look at the players playing the national team, playing the European clubs, they are behind of them in terms of having their opportunities. But for sure, they are good players. Everything is possible as long as they keep doing well. But because not being in the European competition or the biggest competition in the world, they have less chance. But everything is possible because Chichi brought from the last World Cup Renato Augusto. He was playing in China. That's why I'm saying that there is a possibility.
Awesome. And yes, as we finish, let's just talk about your message to upcoming footballers who look up to you and looked up to you growing up. And you see, they've also seen your transition, which I told you, it's actually a problem in Africa. We have this problem when players, most of them, when they transition from the active life to other careers, they struggle a bit, and some of them even have gone into depression. So your message to upcoming footballers and also just those footballers who are nearing the end of their active life on the pitch?
My message to them, first of all, be careful with the people around them. Be surrounded by good people, by the right people. Some people come around football players just to take advantage, just to take an opportunity from a football player. They use their ability to communicate for them to persuade them and say that they are the right person. But ask them questions. Find who this person are, who they are, what they do, like they do with you. Make the scouts of them. It's a way of you to know the person who wants to work with you and find the right advisors. I think this is important. Sometimes find a lawyer instead of put somebody else or to work with you, either family or friends, because sometimes they are family or friends, but many of them don't really understand how to work in this business. This is a business. It's your life. It's business. This is your life. It's your job. If you want to progress, and get into education. Don't put the education apart from football, because you need the education for the rest of your life. You need to have to have different skills when you stop playing football. Doesn't matter how long you play. You can play until you're 35, 40s, but you can stop playing football on your early days due to injuries. It's important not forget the education, and because when you are going to need this for when you are playing football and afterwards. But apart from this, work hard and enjoy this amazing journey. Football is a fantastic environment where you make a lot of friends, you meet a lot of people, you have an opportunity to grow up as a person, as a professional, but also contribute to the society and use football as a beautiful platform. Not only think financially, but financial situation come when we work hard for it. If you just go there without passion, it's going to be so hard to achieve your expectation on a financial situation. But if you have a passion, if you work hard, use football in the right way, and work, I'm sure you can enjoy football, make many people happy with your talent, and also be successful financially as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gilberto Silva, Arsenal legend, World Cup winner, FIFA legend. My goodness, the city is so huge, but I'm so humbled on behalf of all Arsenal fans and football fans in Kenya for talking to us. I know they can't wait to see you soon, and I know you also can't wait to visit our beautiful country. We will welcome you with open arms. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and reliving your many memories with the Arsenal Invincibles. That is back in the day, 2003, 2004 season. No one will ever forget that season because no other team has done it again, winning the season unbeaten. So we'll always be grateful for people like you because through you, I know so many people discovered their dreams, realized their dreams, and also the young upcoming players can continue dreaming, hoping to become like you one day. Thank you so much. Have a lovely time in Brazil, Belo Horizonte.
Yeah.
I hope I got it. Yes.
Yes,
And
fantastic.
yes, so fantastic. Yes. Just quickly, Gabriel Tito says, respect Gilberto, la pasión no une. I think I've said that right. Another one says, Gilberto, we love you. Another one says, yes, sports and education go hand in hand. There's life after football. And also Felix Makacha wrapping up that comment section with, I hope other players have listened to this interview. Inspirational. Just a last one, Gilberto.
Sure.
Do you think Brazil stand a chance to win the World Cup again? 2022 is coming up.
Hope so.
And some of these big players will have aged then because it's 2 years from now.
I hope so. Hope they can be strong. First of all, there's a lot of players coming up. Very strong, good ability, good quality. To get there in maybe 2 years, 2.5 years, very strong. And I think from now on, starting the qualification will be very important for us to dictate who is going to be sharp, who is going to be ready to hold this pressure of wearing this famous yellow shorts for Brazil and bring another trophy for the country. Hope they are going to be strong, and I'm sure they will. There is a lot of good players that are doing amazing job in their clubs.
Yes, thank you so much, Gilberto Silva. Have a lovely time. Thank you so much to the team, Marvin Casilla, who's behind the scenes, doing social media, and also just our designer. And we have my producer all the way from the UK, that is Ed Bowers. Thank you so much for making this show happen. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next Thursday with another guest, whom I don't want to say, but we will announce it later in the week. So thank you, everyone. And it was lovely chatting with you, Gilberto Silva.
Bye-bye, Shon. Thank you. Bye-bye.